about you, but I am hip-hopping my way towards Easter. This is such a fun time of year with our kiddos. We know the end is in sight. The weather is becoming beautiful, and our kids definitely have spring fever. So today I have some ideas for you to bring the Easter fun into your classroom and get your kids hip-hopping right along. Let's get started. My first suggestion to bring the Easter fun into your classroom is with our Easter Pbl Resource. This project-based learning resource is so much fun. It's designed to be run any way you want in your classroom, and I love these Pbl resources because they are print and present. They are so quick and so easy to use with your students, and by quick I mean teacher prep. They are not quick for students to complete. They really take quite a bit of focus and energy from your students. My spring break is really late this year, like after Easter late. So I'm planning on using this Pbl resource the entire week before we go on spring break leading up to Easter. This one is so much fun because students are going to be planning an Easter egg hunt, practicing all those strong math skills, and getting into the Easter spirit. Let's take a sneak peek. The Easter Pbl resource is so much fun for this time of year. Your students are going to be planning an Easter egg hunt for the annual Spring Spectacular. I love these project-based learning activities because it takes those skills that we've been working on in instruction and give great real-life examples of when students are going to use those skills outside of the classroom. Within this resource, students are planning that Easter egg hunt. They're going to have to develop a schedule, working on those elapsed time skills. They're decorating Easter eggs with those geometry skills. They're creating a map. I love this, especially since I do geography with my students. So they're working on those map skills as well. They're graphing, they're creating ticket prices for the ticket booth, doing some calculating there. They're hiding Easter eggs on an alphanumeric grid, and you get both versions of this, a lower grade and an upper grade version. I love that option because it means I can kind of pick and choose the skills that I want specific students to work on, and they never need to know that they have a slightly different activity than their neighbor to meet their needs. This has the fun built in. This has the engagement built in. I'm so excited to use this with my students before our spring break starts after Easter this year. If our Easter Pbl sounds like a resource you want to get your hands on, don't worry, you know I have it for you. Links are in the cards and down in the description box. Another way to bring the Easter fun into your classroom is to incorporate all things April into your students' work. We have a few great options for this. I really love the seasonal reading comprehension passages. I use this in my classroom for practicing those close read strategies. The April passages are perfect for this time of year. Another great option are our writing prompts. These are fun, engaging ways to get students writing about different topics that are very Easter and April appropriate. I love to set these up as one of my stations during our reading rotations, and students can work on these throughout the week. Run those writing pages on bright, colorful paper and let your students be creative. Another great way to bring the Easter Bunny fun into your classroom, keep your students engaged and excited about what you're working on, is to use food. Any way I can use a peep or a jelly bean, I'm going to find a way. Jelly beans are a fantastic resource to use for pretty much any kind of practice. I love to use them reviewing multiplication and division. I teach third grade, so students will get the little individual packs of jelly beans, and they are putting them into equal groups to represent division and multiplication. Maybe they're making arrays, maybe you're measuring with jelly beans. There's so many great ways to get them in your students' hands and then get them in your students' mouths. Makes for an easy cleanup and a really fun activity. Working this time of year also lends itself to some great science experiments. There's two that are so much fun to do with your students. The first of which is growing carrots. And I know what you're thinking, growing carrots sounds boring. You're wrong. They are so much fun. Growing anything is super engaging with students, but carrots are great because they actually grow really quickly. In the past, I've had students, each group gets to plant their own carrot seeds in a clear plastic cup. We set them up on our windowsill, and then we have gardeners who check on them on a daily basis. We're recording the height of them. We're recording the volume of water that we're using to water our carrots. So great math opportunities embedded in that science experiment of growing carrots. And then when you're done, you have carrots. How fun! Another great science experiment for this time of year is making the bouncy egg, where you soak an egg in vinegar. After a few days, it like jellifies, solidifies. Don't quote me on my lingo there, but it's so fun for students. It's a great opportunity for making predictions, listing out the steps of your scientific method, and then when you're done, you pull your egg out, the shell will slough right off, and then that puppy's gonna bounce when you drop it on a plate. So much fun. I'll have the links to more further explanation of that one down in the comments for you. My last suggestion for you today to get your students in the Easter spirit is to break out the plastic Easter eggs. They are everywhere this time of year. They are quick to grab, cheap to grab, and makes those activities that much more engaging. It's perfect because you end up with two halves. They're easy to write on with Sharpie. So the opportunities for ways to use these in your classroom are endless. This time of year in math, a lot of times we're still wrapping up fraction or elapsed time. So I've had equivalent fractions, one on either side, they're having to match. Comparative fractions, they'll match them up, then I'll have a recording sheet to tell me which one is greater than or less than. Matching times, digital clocks to analog clocks. So many opportunities in math where students are having to match two options. Maybe we aren't matching in math, maybe we're hunting in math. Fill those eggs with coins and they're counting monetary value. Fill those eggs with task cards. They have to find the egg, solve the task card, and then go put it in a new hiding place. My suggestion, whenever your students are hiding things, always have a count. Know how many you started with, so when you're missing in the end, you'll know what you're actually missing. I also tell students it's their job to remember where they put their last egg. If you want to take the stress out of the egg hunt, have students put the eggs right back where they found it, and then you'll know where each egg is in the classroom. Don't worry, reading teachers, you know I have options for you too. Reading, there are so many great word activities to do with an egg hunt. I've done compound words before where you're having to build both pieces to make a compound word. I've also done activities with prefixes and suffixes. So you have that prefix and then your affix, and you're putting those pieces together, defining the meaning of the new word that you've made using those resources. Again, we can hunt. Maybe we're hunting for vocabulary words, spelling words. Maybe there's sentences crumbled up inside and students are going to have to correct sentences, identify the parts of speech. I told you the opportunities are endless when it comes to using Easter eggs in fun ways in your classroom. All right, bunnies, I hope you are excited and have great ideas moving forward to get the Easter fun hip and happening in your classroom. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know, how are you going to bring the Easter fun in? Maybe you have a great egg hunt planned, or maybe you just want to tell me you like my bunny earrings. Come down and let's chat in the comments. As always, if you guys want the resources I've mentioned, you know they're down in the description box. That Easter PBL is such a great resource. It's going to be so much fun. Let your students plan that egg hunt. It's up here in the cards as well. As always, guys, if you enjoyed our content, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and as always, hope you have a not so wimpy day.